Welcome home, Bitcoin truth seekers. It is Monday, December 27th, 5:13 p.m. here in the Arizona desert. I tried this earlier, but I was so dang tired, it just didn't work. So here we are once again. Welcome home, Bitcoin truth seekers. BitcoinDailyView.com got more for you there. It's FOMO time. I mean, it really is. And actually, as a matter of fact, while we are doing that, let me actually fire something up here while we're FOMO timing here. I gotta send a link to one more person. Sorry to hold things up. We will be all done and ready in a second. Okay, boom, boom, boom. So it's FOMO time. Bitcoin is at the bottom of the channel. Definitely a courageous moment for those who are holding, and also an exciting moment for those that are getting ready to possibly hop in. So anyway, I know you guys can't see what I'm doing, but it's sort of important. Anyway, one sec. Boom, boom. All right. Sorry for that delay. All right. Here we are once again. Welcome home, Bitcoin truth seekers. It is Monday, December 27th, 5:14 p.m. here in the Arizona desert. Looking at the crypto universe in squares, it is, well, mostly red right now. Had a kind of a run this morning. It's cooling off, but I think it's all within the bounds of an upwards move. So let's look at what's going on. As you can see, mostly red. Doge is in the green now. That's kind of interesting. All right, let's keep rocking through this. Volume for Bitcoin explicitly last 24 hours is 202.8 or 2.9 billion. That's nothing. You got to have at least 3 billion to have the network really happening, 5 billion for any real kinds of movement. So basically 2.8 billion, 2.9 billion really in Bitcoin trading volume on the big exchanges. That spells dump. That's just not enough volume to keep it moving. This is looking at retail volume really explicitly, not whales. Since this morning's move was very, very low volume for Bitcoin, but yeah, Bitcoin was moving up a good deal. I think it was mostly whale play, and that's fine. You want to be wealthy? Think like a whale. So anyway, they looks like whales are moving it. But really retail was not moving it this morning as far as I can tell. Looking at spot trades, spot trading volume on Binance, 17 billion last 24 hours, up 12%. That's nothing. Got to have at least 30 for a good day at all for anything to happen. And then looking at derivatives, want to have at least 75 billion, where we are at 48 billion. So anyway, spot trading, derivatives, and derivatives trading on Binance, where the volume is zero almost. And then Bitcoin trading volume explicitly on the big exchanges, just about nothing. So why did it even move up at all this morning? I don't know. All right, looking, well, probably whales. And that's fine. That's cool. Good enough. So anyway, 66% long, 33% short for Bitcoin, longs versus shorts on Binance. That's not a truly very, very long bias. It's long bias, but very, very slight. So not a whole lot of long excitement happening on Binance right now. Longs versus shorts for Ethereum, 72% long, 27% short. So a little bit more sparkiness on Ethereum. We'll look at a few things as we rock through this. Looking at the 4-hour chart, starting this fib retracement way back here on the 21st of September, around there or so. You can see we moved up. I mean, we definitely made some ground. It's just glorious. And now, of course, what are we doing? Well, we're giving it back. But we have started to bounce. You can see right here at the 786 fib line, we did bounce. And that is a very, very respectable place to bounce. You definitely have given a lot back at that point. And then where do we find ourselves? Well, we find ourselves here. Hopefully this isn't too busy and you can see it clearly enough. But we're finding ourselves playing around right in here. And that is the 618 pocket, the 618 fib line between the 618 and the 650. As you can see, Bitcoin has fooled around in that location before. Let's look at this. You can see, and turn that opacity down. Okay, you can see what's been going on. It has hung out there before. It's definitely a relevant spot there in the fib retracement. This morning it got above the 618. It was looking good. This here, this is the 200 moving average. This is a 4-hour chart, by the way, so it kind of pull. It has some weight. We have a lot of time within this chart that we're seeing here, but we did not stay above the 200 moving average. We did not stay above the 618. We're back in the pocket, but that's fine. We're back in the pocket. So where might we bounce? Well, if we bounce the bottom of the pocket, that would be 49,904. So could we be seeing a bounce around 50K, around 49K? Well, looking at this, it's possible. Now let's check something else out here. If I do an upwards channel here, this is a 45-minute chart. Okay, oh, I do know this. This is the MACD. MACD was working on turning positive, but it just cranked negative. So for our chart, negative MACD sucks ass. So that's not so great. Looking at the 2-hour MACD. Let's look at the 2-hour MACD real quick. It definitely tends to show direction. It's negative too. So we're going to probably ride this down a little bit. There was this channel. Now, this is a channel as I see it, and I'm being a little bit liberal with reality here. But I think this channel does exist. This is, like I say, it's a 45-minute chart. And we're starting way back here on the around the 20th of December when we started to move up, which challenged and eventually got past the 200 moving average. So I think the channel does start there. I like it. We stayed above the 200 moving average. We did visit it here briefly for a bounce, but we kept above it. And now look at this. Unfortunately, we're visiting the bottom of this channel, and we're breaking below it as I see it. We're also visiting that 200 moving average. So to me, I mean, like the sweet bounce spot, if we're going to see it, would be right here in the 200 moving average, and maybe we're beginning to see it already. The 200 moving average right now is right around 50,333. I like that, 50,333. So let's go to a 15-minute chart. Are we beginning to see a turnaround yet? No, we're still not seeing it, even on a 15-minute chart. But you can see where we, have, definitely visited the bottom here, and visited the heartbeat here. Now visiting the bottom again. We're below the 200 moving average there on the 15-minute chart. So it's all about what are we going to do? Is this going to turn into a? Are we going to give more back? Let's see. Well. Directional index here is in the red. ADX is moving up the ADX moving up while you're dumping. So that's going the wrong way. Squeeze indicator showing a lot of downwards momentum for sure. But do note this though. Okay, KRI is in the red big time. We're losing some ground here. 15-minute chart. All right, but check this out. This is the stochastic RSI. We're definitely down here in the oversold territory. Wait till oscillated by lazy bear, you're getting oversold. So I think we're kind of coming to the bottom of this. That's just my opinion at this moment. Let's look at a 5-minute chart. But we're still not seeing any real, green here. We're going to see some turnaround here, and we're just not seeing it. So I'm going to go to the 45-minute chart here and pull some time in here. 45-minute chart, as you can see, ADX is in the, directional index is in the red. ADX is going the wrong way. Squeeze indicator is showing downwards momentum. KRI is dumping, but do note this also. Stochastic RSI is showing oversold, and the which oscillator by lazy bear is showing, well, we're getting kind of into that possible buy zone. One of the best places to see oversold is the hourly chart. Stochastic RSI right there is showing. Look at that right there. If you can see it, the tangent is turning up. I think we might, like I say, not financial advice, but we might be coming to the end of this dump. This opposite of a dump, of a pump is a dump. So I really do think, looking at this hourly chart, that's kind of clean looking. I sort of like it. I'm going to go with the 45-minute, though. I think it's actually more, it's more better, more reactionary, whatever. Let's go here. Let's go there. Ride that 200 moving at. I'm going to actually, rather than take that wick, I'm just going to go to the body of that candle. Okay, and then boom. Going to finish this up here. Let's just go to the bodies. Really look at that. That we basically, kind of got rejected perfectly by the heartbeat of this 45-minute channel. Can't beat that. We are just touching that 200 moving average. We're below the channel. Indicators, I would say the stochastic RSI, if I'm looking at that for some, a bit of reality, well, I think that maybe we're going to bounce. So anyway, this is, looking at a 45-minute chart, I think possibly a really, really sweet bounce point if you are crazy. If we see a 45-minute candle become an indecisive doji or begin to bounce off this, also this bounce could happen quickly. So if you are really wanting to try to scalp a little bit of crazy gains right now, oops, sorry about that. This is, I mean, like the ideal friggin' place right there. Boom. That's just a beautiful, beautiful trade if we see a bounce off that 200 moving average and we start moving back into that channel. So with that said, oh, and Masaki from Acadia.com mentions most of the charts are bottomed out, but still waiting for the spike down. Okay, so he's still waiting for the for more of a spike down. Well, I mean, I'll tell you what, if we don't keep this 200 moving average here on the 45-minute chart for Bitcoin, which is definitely going to affect the market in general, if we break below that, we'll probably start to move between the 200 and the 314 and then eventually challenge out of it. Or, you know, if it goes the wrong way, if we do go, you know, down through the 200, another 200 to the 314, can't break back above it and go below. Yeah, I mean, some of those, you know, if you look at the next real, if we do find a point of interest here in the chart, and you can kind of see here where you've got previous support and that you could bounce off of. That's like 46,000 right there if we just keep dumping. So, you know, there you go. I mean, you could even see a wick down to there. So like, you know, buys like 48,000, 47,500, 47,000, 46,500, you know, layered limit buys right there. If it's actually wick down, could seriously be freaking awesome if they fill. But we will keep watching. And let me go back to the 5-minute candle. Actually, no, let me go to the minute candle. Let's go to the minute candle. You know, okay, looking at the minute candle, we're starting to see a little bit of a fight. Definitely on the minute candle. Scar's eye is already turning back up. Return oscillator by Lazy Bear is turning back up. So look at that. You might be seeing some, I wouldn't get too excited yet, but on the minute chart, you know, if we can start moving back up again and cross back over the 200 moving average, one of my favorites. Then they were also at the top of the RSI cave. So anyway, it's tough. It's dumping. It's dumped a little bit too much to really, I don't know. It gets kind of hard to call things when it dumps this much. But look where it's dumped to. Perfectly to the 200 moving average. Perfectly. Right there on the 45-minute chart. Very, very powerful spot for Bitcoin. Let's see if we bounce there. I'm going to be sitting here watching. I won't just sit here and watch while I'm streaming this, but I will sit here and watch. Super buy zone right now. Paper hands versus diamond hands from Masaki. Also, Masaki mentions Venus retrograde pulls down. No, I'm sorry. Venus retrograde puts downward pressure on cryptos till late January. Should be fireworks afterwards. So there you go. Masaki is quite the crypto astrologer, and you can check him out at I'll put a link in the show notes, Acadia.com. Check him out. But really, make a break moment. I mean, if you are a hardcore scalper right now and you're watching this, we definitely could see a move back up. And you know, if you were, like I say, if you're in your garage like I am, you know, because Christmas is finally over and you can get back to work. You know, if we get back to just our previous, you know, high, that's a good 3.3%. You could probably easily, you know, get 3% off this. I mean, I know like the thing about trading Bitcoin right now is that like if you blow it and it goes low, you just wait and you're set. Where alt you can't always be as sure. So I'm not saying, you know, buy this right now. I'm just saying that this is a good thing. This is a very, it will probably bounce here, most likely. It will bounce, but I'd wait for confirmation before I got back in if you are feeling like actually trying to scalp this. So let's look at the crypto universe in squares last hour one more time. Let's bring that up. Who's in the green? ADA is making a move. Sushi's making a move. We're going to see alts definitely start to move. Algo's looking good. RVN, oh, sorry. Everything just turned red. It was a delay. Sorry. Everything's red. Nothing's green. Damn, the market's dumping hard. Well, this is definitely a place for only crazy people to trade right now. But I might, you know, go over and I might dump I have a little bit hedged out that I might just, you know, a slight hedge in right now if I see this. Let's watch on a 15. Are we seeing a turnaround yet on a 15? No, and we definitely have all the mid-rid ribbons, as they say, the EMAs. That's what all these red and green ribbons are. Green is good, red is bad. 15-minute chart, we definitely have turned red. All EMA is green. I mean red. Below 200 moving average. That's kind of really, really shitty. We were recovering here, as you can see. But look what happened. We began to recover, and we just kind of like, as you can see by this directional index there, we just lost that. Oh no. I mean, that's actually the super squeeze indicator. It's over at bitcoindaily.com. You can see the the squeeze indicator. It shows a velocity basically. It's kind of like the directional index, but it's a little bit more reactive. I like to use both of them together. When you see these white dots here, that just shows extreme velocity towards down or up. But let's see what happens. You know, we are kind of on the 15-minute chart and even on the hour chart, 45-minute chart. We are starting to see oversold here. Let's look at a 4-hour chart. Are we oversold there? No, not yet. Definitely could dump further. And what really kind of sucks ass, to be honest with you, depending on what you want to happen, we were on the 4-hour chart above the 200 moving average for a little bit. Didn't hold it, broke below it. Sucks. Would have been great if we could have kept that. But overall, looking at indicators here, let's see what happens. Stochastic RSI has more room to move down for sure. I could go quite a ways. So let's see what happens. It's volatile. This is definitely kind of a manipulation. Some whale bastard is like selling 100K chunks. Some whale bastard is selling 100K chunks on market somewhere across a couple of exchanges or something like that. Looking at this, how are we looking there? Yeah, still downwards pressure. So anyway, that's all that. That's what I can tell you about that right now. Bitcoin being manipulated. It will stop dumping when the whale stopped dumping it, really, to be honest with you. But looking at a 45-minute chart, I'm looking right there. I am waiting for, I'm watching for, and I do think this body is starting to firm up in the right direction. A bounce here, it's definitely a high probability. So keep your eye out and watch shorter time frames to catch that if it starts moving up, if you're scalping this thing. The only thing is, though, we're very, very volatile. You might make a few percent and it might just dump right back down. So volatile times right now. Looking at Shiba Inu, everybody loves it. As you can see, it's had a beautiful uptrend recently. Beautiful uptrend. Shiba Inu came across 200 moving average from the 45-minute chart, been moving up. Glorious thing. It's been staying above the 200 moving average from the 45-minute chart. I do love that, but do check this out. This is rather tragic. Boom, we're giving a lot back. We'll see how much we give back. I would be surprised if it went as far as the 200 moving average balance before it started to turn around. It probably will not until Bitcoin. An indecisive dose. Look at that 15-minute chart. Look what it just did as it came to the 200 moving average on the 15-minute chart. We have an indecisive doji right there. All the red ribbons or the EMAs, as they call them, are in the red. You can see by the red star there. But look at that 15-minute chart. It's not taking this shit laying down. Look at that. It wicked below it almost to the 314, but now it is. Is it going to bounce right there? That could be a wicked trade if you continue to, if the market stays right and you continue to move this up. I mean, if you get in, it's a nice uptrend we have going here. It's a logical place for it to bounce. And if it does, once you get in profit, if you can just put a trailing take profit, you can just ride this up until, Masaki gets his gets his dump. So with that said, let's keep looking. There's a couple of things people wanted me to check. One was Ethereum, ETH, USDT, Binance. How's Ethereum looking? The thing about Ethereum, holy shit, that sucks ass. Oh, I'm sorry. It's a 15-minute chart. Not quite as bad as I thought. Ethereum, it's downwards momentum for sure. It looks like the stochastic RSI, at least to me, shows that we are pretty much getting into oversold territory. Broke below the 200 moving average. It's down here to the 314 moving average. Also the bottom of the RSI cave. Very likely to bounce there. Let's look at a 15-minute chart. Not showing much else. Okay, so there we go. Ethereum, honestly, it'll turn around when Bitcoin does, and very well if Bitcoin makes a 200 moving average bounce right there, then Ethereum will make that 314 moving bounce there for sure. I'm pretty sure. All right, let's fire up a new one here. I want to keep that. Looking at Sol versus USDT. All right, let's look at that. Sol versus USDT.
This kind of happens. This is a 4-hour chart. It looks like it may do a 200 moving average bounce on the 4-hour chart. Let's look at a 45-minute chart for more immediate price action. 45-minute chart for SOL versus USDT. Here's the thing. I like what I'm seeing here. It's been riding a beautiful uptrend for quite a while. It bounced off the top of the RSI cave recently, just about the same time Bitcoin did. Now it's dumping hard. Will it make the 200 moving average or not? And then bounce. Hard to tell exactly. The truth is, really, the market's going to do what Bitcoin does. If it bounces here, it's going to bounce. If it does not, it ain't. And Ethereum, well, it's going to do what Bitcoin does. So let's see. Also, an ETH versus BTC trade. How's that looking right now? I love ETH versus BTC trades. Interesting moment. Honestly, overall, it's been riding below the 200 moving average for way too long on a 45-minute chart. And this thing is just giving it back. It's really giving it back. It tried to bounce. It didn't get above the 200 moving average. And now it is actually, Ethereum does appear to be recovering quicker than, Bitcoin. But where it's sitting right now is just not a buy zone for me, honestly. But it could be. If we look at this a little bit different, let's clear the deck here and look at just ETH. Let's actually do a little, this is tricky. All right, let's go to a 4-hour chart. ETH versus BTC. This is a trade that can even be done. Let's see. All right, so this is actually kind of cool. You can do a nice fib sequence on this. So if I grab my Fibonacci tool here, I'm going to go back to when this uptrend really started. And the uptrend really started back on 19th of October. Definitely has come down here and it has hung out in the 618 pocket. So it's just nice. It definitely, this chart does seem to have some relevant anchors here. This fib sequence definitely works. So, yeah, it's playing between the 236 and the 382 fib level. It's between the 200 and the 314. It's on a 4-hour chart. I don't know. It's nowhere that I would. It's just not in a good spot for me. I wish it was. On a short time frame, though, if we look at this, if we pull this into like a 45-minute chart, just kind of squeeze all this in here. See if I can actually make my GPU catch on fire. If we look at it like this, if we could get back above that 200 moving average right here on the 45-minute chart, for Ethereum versus BTC, and BTC continues strong, which requires kind of Bitcoin being strong. But really, all we really need is about boom. All we really need is about like 1%. I mean, if we go as far as like 2%, we'd be clearing the 314 and the 200, and definitely this chart would be looking really sweet. So, if Ethereum can outclimb Bitcoin, definitely an Ethereum versus BTC trade. What is going on here? An Ethereum versus BTC trade could definitely be in the works, but and it could be setting up. I don't know. This kind of manipulation, this kind of movement so quickly, kind of makes your oscillators mean a little bit less. Ethereum, it wicked below the 314 now. That's not tremendously positive. What's Bitcoin doing? It doesn't look like it's going to hold that 200 moving average. It's not looking so good. Can I turn volume on? Do I have volume? I do. Volume set to 20. Yeah, look at that. Volume is roaring in as it basically just blows chunks. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. It's an interesting moment. We'll see if we can, what's going to happen. It's FOMO time. It's definitely FOMO time. Even if I saw a very powerful, reversal here, would I even really want it? And I know a lot of things are bottomed out right now or quite low, but until we see a confirmed uptrend here on Bitcoin, bounce on that 200 moving average, I'm out. I'm on the sidelines watching. This could be a badass buy. And if you want to hedge in a little bit, I'd go for it. But this is FOMO time. It's all about, are you FOMO in the short or are you FOMO in the long? You know what I mean? Anyway, with that said, remember, everybody, for every Bitcoin Satoshi you own, a piece of shit globalist cries, whether it's dumping or pumping, either way. humanity wins. Take care.